You know, every once in a while, even when I'm not flying, I'll walk around the airplane and inspect it. I'll check the oil, I'll check the propeller, make sure there's no cracks, check the condition of everything, look at the windshield, the bolts, the struts, the pitot tube, make sure it's tight, there's nothing coming loose, the bolts aren't coming loose, the condition of the wings. I'll just go around it and look at the counterweights, all the hinges, make sure those bolts aren't coming loose, and basically just give the airplane a good, thorough inspection. Like I said, even if I'm not flying, sometimes I'll just come in the hangar and inspect the airplane. Now, to explain what I found, I've done a highly detailed drawing of the heat system in the airplane. So we have a vent on the bottom of the cowling that you can see here. Air comes in that vent and goes through a hose. And then this is the muffler. Actually, this is the muffler here. The outer one is just a shroud that goes around the muffler. And when that air comes in here, it circulates around that shroud and gets warm. And then from here, it goes through a butterfly valve into the cabin for cabin heat. Well, let's just say this hose wasn't connected. Well, air would come up here and basically just dump overboard down, and there's no air going in here to circulate that air and push it into the cabin. That is what I found on my airplane. This hose was disconnected from the intake vent. Here you can see, looking up from the bottom, that I have reconnected that hose, and now I should have cabin heat. Well, now with the addition of cabin heat, let's go flying and see how well the heater works. Alright guys, this isn't exactly an apples to apples test because it's actually pretty warm out today. In fact, my dynon says 57. I'm not sure if it's quite that warm. I was just in my car and it said 48. So probably somewhere around 50 degrees. And I've been flying in the teens for temperatures, so can't really compare the heater today as to how it was, but at least I want to go up and see if I can feel heat coming in from it. And it's actually pretty windy today. I don't usually fly on these kind of windy days, but I got to get used to flying the Cruzer in wind. It's a light airplane, so wind has a greater effect on it, but we got a pretty good crosswind, and it's kind of interesting because it's pushing on my tail and it keeps wanting to push the nose to the right. It'll be a good practice today for a crosswind takeoff and landings. I'll tell you, it's already getting warm in here. I have both of the cabin heats pulled out, so both of the butterfly valves are open. The engine's probably not putting out a whole lot of heat right now, but like I said, it is kind of warm out today too. Alright, right now I'm just waiting for the oil temperature to warm up to 120. We'll back taxi on runway 27. Take off to the west. Dynon says I have 11 gallons in the left tank and 13 in the right tank. I see my fuel selector is on the right tank. It's on the fullest tank. Field elevation is set in the Dynon. Squawking 1200. Got the right frequency in there. Ready to go. Alright, there's 115. By the time we get down there, it should be warm enough. Price traffic, 7 Mike Delta depart, or back taxi 27 at Price. It'll be a crosswind from the left today. kind of amazing how accurate this dynon is too, with the GPS in here, because I'm a little bit left of the center line because it's smoother pavement. And even on the screen here, I can see the runway is a little bit off to my right, so it knows the difference between the center line and just being 5 or 10 feet off. I've ordered my dynon panel, and I'm hoping it arrives here this week. So if it does, I'll do a full unboxing video for you guys. You can see what all is going into the panel. All right, let's go fight this wind. Woohoo! Yep, it's windy. Good thing this airplane gets off the ground quick and I don't have to fight it for too much or too long. Holy smokes, I can feel that heat. Yikes. It's probably 80 degrees in here right now. Sure would have been nice to have that heat this winter. Oh yeah, it's like a furnace blow. I mean, I can feel the air blowing on me. That's a huge difference. In fact, I got to open the vent on the window. All right, I can definitely turn the heat off. It works. Well, it's only February, and this is in Michigan. This is a time of year where you have these days where it's 50 or 60 degrees, and then tomorrow we'll get a foot of snow. So the next time it's freezing cold out, I'll definitely want to fly again and see how the heat works. But man, what a difference. Like I said, I turned it off now, but I can feel that heat blowing on me. It got warm in here quick. Well, I turned the camera on the wing strut around facing backwards, just for a little bit different view. I probably need one more GoPro, because if I could have these 3 angles from the pilot view, looking forward view, the wing strut view, and then one more camera looking forward from the wing strut, I could get a lot of good, or a little more exciting footage. Maybe I'll have to invest in one more GoPro. So let's look at that camera and see what it looks like. Oh, you know what, guys? I forgot. I have, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I have the view of that camera on my phone. There's a GoPro app, so I can actually see what that camera sees. And you see at the very bottom right, that little flappy thing going on. That's the strap to the mount. I'll have to secure that down next time. But that's a pretty cool view facing backwards, huh? It's pretty neat. Well, let's go play around a little bit. See what kind of views we can get with that. As far as the wind goes, it's pretty smooth up here. And it's funny, some of the other flying videos I make, when I go to edit them, I'll see that I'm saying, oh, it's really bumpy, and the video looks perfectly smooth. You guys probably think I'm lying, but it's the stabilization in these cameras is pretty amazing. It really makes it look smooth even when we're getting bumped around, but right now it's like perfectly smooth out.
So somebody on my last flying video was asking about the density, altitude, and the speeds. So right now it's density altitude of 3,900 feet, and I've got the power at 2,400 RPM. I'm indicating 88 miles an hour with a true airspeed of 93. Now let's push this up to like 2,800 RPM, which is the max continuous. So if you really were in a hurry to go somewhere, you could fly at 2,800 RPM and leave it there all day. All right, there's 28. We'll just let it accelerate a little bit. Stabilize. See what it wants to do. Well, I can feel that wind pushing me though, going sideways here. Alright, speed's still climbing a little bit. I'm indicating like 113, 112, 113. True airspeed of 120 right now. And I think when I was doing the test earlier, when I was doing the test cards, it was like, there's 121. I think it was 122. So, but somewhere around there. It's, you know, indicating 113 or so. With about 120 true airspeed, and that's right now 4,100 density altitude. So, but I like to bring the power back. Here's 2,300 RPM, and boys, it's just smooth and quiet at this RPM. I'm obviously not in a hurry to go anywhere right now, so there's no use having 2,800 RPM in there. Usually about 24 or 2,500 is what I put it at when I'm just farting around up here. Well, the lakes are still frozen down there. Well, how about a pilot's eye view of the visibility in the Cruzer? So I'm holding the camera kind of right in front of my face. So this is, I guess, kind of the view that I would see. Although with peripheral vision, I can see down to the panel and all that. But anyway, this is what it's like to fly the Cruzer. Alright, well, we're right only a couple miles south of the airport here. We might as well go back and land, and I can get back to work on the old Super Duty. Price traffic, 7 Mike Delta's on a left, downwind for 27 at Price.
Traffic, helicopter 7102 Zulu, 35 at 2000 for 31 Libby.
You guys can see the crab angle I have in here. You can see how strong that wind is out of the south. If it was smooth, it wouldn't be as bad, but it's bumpy. I'm just getting bumped all around here. It probably looks perfectly smooth in the camera, but it's not. All right, kick that right rudder, left aileron. Got a gust of wind there. Those flaps up right away. Look at that windsock. You guys see that windsock? Straight out. Direct crosswind. I want to taxi slow just because of that wind.
Price, traffic 7 Mike Delta, clear the runway at Price. All right, lights can come off here. Flaps are already up. Honey, I'm home.